UN 영어뉴스 Grammy Awards 2023 How to watch and who will win. Beyonce, Harry Styles and Adele are all likely winners at this year's ceremony. Will Adele continue her winning streak? Will ABBA win their first Grammy? Will Beyonce be snubbed again? All these questions be answered when the 65th Grammy Awards take place in Los Angeles on Sunday. Beyonce leads the nominations with 9 in total, followed by Kendrick Lamar with 8, and Adele and Brandy Carlile, who have 7 each. Comedian Trevor Noah hosts the ceremony for the third year running, starting at 2000 in LA. This year, there are a staggering 91 categories, from Best New Age, Ambient, or Chant Album, Shout Out to Cheryl B, Engelhardt, Hard to the night's biggest prize, Album of the Year. There will also be performances from some of music's biggest names and bittersweet tributes to the stars we've lost. Here's what you need to know ahead of the event. 1. How to watch the Grammys. Trevor Noah returns as host for the third time. First of all, stock up on snacks. The first awards are handed out in what's called the premiere ceremony at 20:30 GMT on Sunday. Proceedings then continue for 8 mind-numbing hours until the Album of the Year trophy is finally presented around 04:30 GMT. The main show, which starts at 0100 GMT, will be broadcast live in America on CBS, with streams on Paramount Plus and the website live.grammy.com. Paramount Plus is available over here, but has yet to confirm whether the Grammys will be streamed as part of its package. However, live.grammy.com should be available to UK viewers, and red carpet coverage will be streamed on EW's YouTube channel from 20:30 GMT. 30 GMT. 2. Beyonce could become the winningest winner of all time. The singer recently announced her first solo world tour in 7 years. Beyonce is already the most awarded woman in the history of the Grammys, with 28 victories. This year, she received another 9 nominations, tying her with her husband Jay-Z for the most nods collected by any artist, with 88. On the night, she needs just 4 wins to beat the record for the most overall wins, a position currently held by the conductor George Solti, who died in 1997. Her meticulously researched homage to black and queer dance music, Renaissance, is a front-runner for Album of the Year, but fans know not to get their hopes up. Despite her impressive haul of trophies, all but one of Beyonce's previous awards have come in genre categories like R&B and soul, feeding a perception that the Grammys fails to recognize black artists with its top awards. That could change this year after almost 2,000 new members joined the voting organization, 44% of whom come from traditionally underrepresented communities, according to the Recording Academy. 3. DJ Khaled, who doesn't rap, is nominated for Best Rap Album. The producer and music mogul previously won a Grammy in 2020 for Best Rap / Song Performance for Higher feat. John Legend and Nipsey Hussle. DJ Khaled is one of the most fascinating figures in hip-hop. A former radio DJ, she has become a sort of musical Nick Fury, assembling an all-star cast of super-powered beatmakers and rappers to collaborate on songs that are ultimately released under his name. The extent of his input is unclear, but he does pop up on most of his, shouting with the best or another one through a megaphone, while acts like Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Megan Thee Stallion do the heavy lifting. He explained his creative philosophy in an interview in The Fader in 2013. If you can't find it, you gotta go make it. If you can't make it, you gotta go find it. That hustle has earned him 4 #1 albums in the US, the latest of which, God Did, is up for Best Rap Album. 4. Lizzo and Harry Styles are set to perform. Lizzo joined Harry Styles on stage when he headlined Coachella in 2022. Sadly not together, the Grammys always keep a few surprises up their sleeves, but these are the artists currently scheduled to perform on Sunday: Bad Bunny, Brandy Carlin, Harry Styles, Lizzo, Luke Combs, Mary J. Blige, Sam Smith and Kim Petras, Steve Lacy. 5. Taylor Swift's Midnight isn't nominated. Taylor Swift is one of the only people to win Album of the Year 3 times. Taylor Swift is one of only 3 artists to win Album of the Year 3 times, but her latest record, Midnight, came out too late to be eligible for this year's ceremony. However, Swift still managed to pick up 4 nominations, including Song of the Year for the expanded, re-recorded version of All Too Well. She's never won that prize before, despite 6 nominations. Could this be her year? 6. The In Memoriam section will be especially moving. Takeoff Left will be honored by his bandmate and uncle, Quavo. From Coolio to Olivia Newton-John, we've said goodbye to an upsetting number of musicians in the last 12 months, and the Grammys will mark the loss with an emotionally charged In Memoriam section. Casey Musgraves will perform Coal Miner's Daughter in a tribute to country music legend Loretta Lynn, who died at the age of 90 last October. British songwriter Christine McVie will be honored by Sheryl Crow, Bonnie Raitt, and her bandmate Mick Fleetwood with a rendition of her classic ballad Songbird. And Migos rapper Quavo will join the Maverick City Music Choir to remember the life and legacy of his nephew Takeoff, who was shot and killed in October at the age of 28. 7. It could be a big night for Latin music. Bad Bunny has been the most streamed artist in the world for 3 consecutive years. After spending 13 weeks at the top of the US Billboard charts last summer, Bad Bunny's On Verano Sin Ti has become the first Spanish language record to be nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys. It's an achievement that caps his almost mythological rise from a grocery beggar in the small Puerto Rican town of Vega Baja to a global superstar and a torchbearer for Latin pop, and musica urbana. Clocking in at 23 tracks, Un Verano Sin Ti is a record of two halves, split evenly between sun-kissed party anthems and more experimental political tracks that explore gender violence and the gentrification of Puerto Rico. He's not the only Latin artist to bask in the Grammy spotlight, with Brazilian singer Anita considered a frontrunner for Best Newcomer. Confusingly, her nomination comes almost a decade into her career, but recognizes the crossover success of her latest album, Versions of Me, which became the first Brazilian pop album to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify. Her competition comes from breakout rap star Lato, British indie duo Wet Leg, and Italian Eurovision winners Maneskin. It is a truly odd category this year. 8. Grammy voters have discovered TikTok. Rosalia, Lizzo, and Gayle all harnessed TikTok as an engine for their hits. While some US politicians are calling for TikTok to be banned, the app's outsized influence on the music industry has been recognized by the Grammys. Spanish star Rosalia gets a nomination for Best Music Film for a one-off concert that aired on TikTok, and 4 of the artists up for Song of the Year scored hits from viral TikTok videos. One of the more surprising ones is Gayle's ABCDEFU, if only for its origin story. The star was challenged on TikTok to compose a breakup song using the alphabet, and replied with an early version of ABCDEFU. After it started trending on the app, a finished version was recorded and became a global smash. But it was later discovered that her fan was in fact an employee of her record label, leading to accusations of hype and marketing. But when hasn't the music industry been about hype and marketing? ABCDEFU is still a fun, if slight, pop anthem. Whether it deserves a Grammy nomination is another question. 9. Hip-hop's golden anniversary will be celebrated. Salt and Pepper and Spinderella will be among the rap royalty taking to the stage. The Grammy stage is going to groan under the weight of 3 dozen rap legends and their gold chains when the ceremony celebrates the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Introduced by LL Cool J with music by The Roots, the performance will include appearances by Busta Rhymes, De La Soul, Missy Elliott, Future, Glorilla, Grandmaster Flash, Ice-T, Lil Wayne, The Lox, Method Man, Nelly, Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, Run DMC, Salt and Pepper, and Outkast's Big Boy, amongst others. The anniversary itself falls in August, recognizing the date in 1973 that 18-year-old Cleve Campbell, aka DJ Cool Hawk, threw a back-to-school party at his apartment in New York. There, he pioneered the technique of playing 2 copies of the same song at once, alternating between turntables to extend the instrumental portions of funk and soul records that became the foundation stone of hip-hop. 10. Ozzy Osbourne could win his first Grammy since 1994. The rocker recently announced his retirement from touring. The last and only time Ozzy Osbourne won a Grammy, it was for a track from Live and Loud, his supposed farewell album in 1994. 28 short years later, he's got 4 nominations, all in recognition of his latest album, Patient Number 9, which features contributions from Eric Clapton, Metallica, and the late Jeff Beck. The star says he will be floored if he wins, and that he hasn't prepared a speech. I always end up saying it twice, or blowing it, or whatever. He told Billboard. I'm sure my wife will have it worked out. Behind me is my wife. My wife pulls my strings. 11. Who will scoop the big 4 prizes? Adele has had an incredible track record at the Grammys, but can she extend it? The Big 4 are the Grammys' most prestigious and hotly contested awards. Here's a look at the lineup. Album of the Year: ABBA, Boyz, Adele 30, Bad Bunny, Un Verano Sin Ti, Beyonce, Renaissance, Mary J. Blige, Good Morning Gorgeous, Brandy Carlile, In These Silent Days, Rizzo, Special, Coldplay, Music of the Spheres, Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Moore, and the Big Steppers, Harry Styles, Harry's House. The headline here is the repeat of 2017's Best Album race, in which Adele's 25 controversially beat Beyonce's Lemonade. Beyonce is considered the front-runner this time, but Adele has an unbeatable track record, winning all of the 13 Grammys she's been nominated for since 2012. The dark horse is Brandy Carlile, a musician's musician who helped bring Joni Mitchell back to the stage last year. The Rootsy Americana of her 7th studio album, In These Silent Days, is guaranteed to appeal to the Academy's musically conservative voter base. Song of the Year: Gayle, ABCDEFU, Rizzo, About Damn Time, Taylor Swift, All Too Well, 10-minute version, Harry Styles, As It Was, Steve Lacy, Bad Habit, Beyonce, Break My Soul, Adele, Easy on Me, DJ Khaled, God Did, Kendrick Lamar, The Hurt Part 5, Bonnie Raitt, Just Like That. Harry Styles, As It Was, should be the front runner here. He spent 15 weeks at number 1 in the US and cemented the British singer as one of his generation's standout talents. But its ubiquity could play against it. Adele's Easy on Me is a relatively safe choice, sharing about 80% of its DNA with her previous Song of the Year winner, Hello. But it would be glorious to see Taylor Swift, the most consequential writer of her generation, finally win this songwriting prize after 5 previous attempts. Record of the Year: ABBA, Don't Shut Me Down, Adele, Easy on Me, Beyonce, Break My Soul, Mary J. Blige, Good Morning, Brandy Carlile, Beatle, Lucius, You and Me on the Rock, Doja Cat, Woman, Steve Lacy, Bad Habit, Kendrick Lamar, The Hurt Part 5, Rizzo, About Damn Time, Harry Styles, As It Was. While the Song of the Year award recognizes the composition of a song, Record of the Year looks at the finished product, i.e. the actual sound recording. No one has won the category more times than Bruno Mars, suggesting voters feel more comfortable with recognizable throwback sounds than innovative experimentation that gives results About Damn Time and Harry Styles, As It Was, a slight essay over Beyonce's Break My Soul, but this one is too close to call. Best New Artist, Anita, Omar Apollo, Domi and J.D. Beck, Muni Long, Samara Joy, Lato, Maneskin, Toby Nwigwe, Molly Tutul, Wet Leg. Without a big breakout star to dominate this category, is an open field. Voters typically opt for mainstream acts like Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish, which would rule out some of the more esoteric nominees like jazz duo Domi and J.D. Beck or folk singer Molly Tutul. Italian Eurovision winners Maneskin have been pretty inescapable on US radio over the last year, giving them a decent edge. Lato, whose charismatic rap anthem, Big Energy, was a top 3 hit, is the one to beat.